Good morning. January 2nd. Hey, it got one of our favorite guys today, man. Tim from Slab Strong. I can't wait to share this story with my guy because we came up together in this hobby journey and we're continuing to walk this trail together. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when you get that pack, yeah. Don't know how to act, yeah. When you get that pack, yeah. Don't know how to act, yeah. And I'm a rip, and I'm a rip, and I'm a rip, and I'm a rip till I lose my mind. That's Rip, man. Literally, Rip Hamiltops is the hook king, hook god when it comes to this hobby music. He is the originator and creator of hobby music. You feel me? Rip Hamiltops. Yeah. My mind. Look, don't care who bat and clean up. Know that we up. You're gonna be standing there for a while. Pull a seat up. Who's next to Rick? Batter up. You want to see the value? Pull the ladder up. You can hit a bass or pull an insert. Our hobby music got bass. Cards we insert. Bought the slab for less. Now it's worth more. By the time they realize our worth, will be worth more. Slabs and jambalaya. It's mealtime. I know how cards feel because I feel mine. What? But it feel fine. It's peel time. In real time, auction bids, no hitters who did bits. Real time. One touch is loaded with hollows. That's the magazine. Line the packs up. Watch me pull like a slot machine. Hey, without further ado, we're gonna bring on the man, the rookie of the year. This was our rookie of the year for the inaugural off the checklist hobby RPS awards. We gave Tim rookie of the year, standalone rookie of the year, without a doubt. If it wasn't that award, he got one of them, and it's well deserving. And we about to find out why today, right now. Without further ado, I think that's what they say. My guy, our guy, Tim Slabstrong. How you doing today? Happy New Year, bruh.
What's up, Pack? Happy New Year, man. How's it going?
It's going good. I failed on the intro on the song. I thought I picked a song where I gave Slab Strong a shout out. I think you one of the only few people who can get a shout out without having to drop a bag no matter what. It's just love, pure and organic. Tim already didn't put in that work far beyond monetary value. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just there like that.
Yeah, man. I'm always listening to. It's funny because you've told me, like we talk, so I know that you say slab strong. But sometimes I'll be going through, I'll be listening to stuff. I'm like, oh, like I didn't know that verse. Like that's like there's a bunch, man. But I got this one. I think you call it the 7 year with the
Oh, 7 years, 7 years.
7 years in the hot
Yeah.
weather. That's the one that I listen to all the time.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
that's the one I love.
I should have put that one on. I forgot all about that one. So how was your New Year, bro? How was you and the ladies' New Year and everything like that? What y'all do?
We just took it easy, man. We went to so in Providence, we got a place called Federal Hill. It's kind of like our little Italy.
Uh,
So we got a nice little gift card for Christmas this year. So we went to a place called Federal Tap House. But we went. That's a young man's game now, right? Like we came back to the house, just played like some like tabletop cornhole and just had some fun. Watched the ball drop. Real easy going night. Didn't really drink too much. You know what I mean? Just spent time with each other. How was yours?
it was smooth. It was smooth. Slabby came out here with his family. Trail came out with the family. We spent it together, played a whole bunch of games, incorporated some hobby things in there. We were in here in the lab, got some interviews out the off the checklist, and then we were able to create two at the same time. So it was a normal day. It was actually a normal day, man. That's how at least 1 or 2 days of our weeks look anyway, where the house is full of family. And my house is always full of family. People are gonna learn quick. There's gonna be people jumping through here, like this type of setup. I tell my family all the time and friends when they come in here, you don't have to announce yourself. Come in, take a seat. Now you part of the interview too. You know what I mean? It's that type of setting where if there's 20 people in here, they all gonna be asking Tim questions. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
luckily, right now everybody sleeps, so I'm dolo.
yeah, you've been like that since I met you, and I know we'll get into it. But yeah, I've known you've always had that type of energy where it's just like any type of respect, love shown, as long as that's not ever broke, like you're always there. So that's what I would
Always. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Tim, we gonna open this one up, bruh. We're gonna get this question out the way because I've never asked you this question, and it's crazy because as much as I've talked to you, I probably talked to for the people I've met in the hobby. Well, from the time I've met you, of course, I've talked to you more than anybody else that I've met in the hobby. Tim and I probably met. When did we meet, bro? When was it? It was a little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was like October. It was like probably late October, November 1st.
Yep, yep. Right around that time, I think we had just dropped Rip Hamiltops just dropped that My Pack video or something like that,
Yeah,
not too long
yeah,
before that. And we have a mutual friend, a mutual buddy of ours, Marlon. I met Marlon. I don't even remember. I think I met Marlon definitely on Facebook, but I believe it was probably through. We're both basketball coaches, and I believe we probably are on the same group page or something like that. And then I mentioned cards, and then he, you know what I'm saying? I think that sparked a relationship
yeah,
between him and a few other people, and they started joining. Man, when Slabby and I got back into the hobby, like January, February of 2020, like right before things started going crazy, Slabby ran in here, and he said, "Bruh, everything you've been collecting and
yeah.
everything for the last 6-7 years, bro. I think something's gonna happen. I've been reading articles and people invest in these sports cards." And I said, "Really?" And I thought he was crazy, but I was just happy that my younger brother wanted to rip cards and collect cards with me. So I
Yeah.
was gassing him up, like, "Yeah, go study more, go do this." But then it put a battery in my back at the same time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
man, when we first started, bro, we started like breaking, and we had our own exclusive break. We still have a break format that the hobby hasn't seen. And you know me, bro. If ask Marlon, when we break this format out, I mean, every breaker is going to take the format. You have to. I mean, you damn near got to put it on pay-per-view type thing. It's that lit. And when people, get together and make it what it is, ask Marlon. It's nothing like it. At the same time, we can
Oh, I
give
believe
people
it,
the
man.
blueprint, but if they don't got our pieces and if they don't got Naka doing the breaking, it ain't gonna be what it is. You feel me? So we're gonna bring that out and share it with the world. But that's where I met Marlon, and Marlon is kind of who linked us together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marlon linked us
So,
together, and then from there, it was fireworks.
yeah, so you want to know how I know Marlon?
Yeah,
So, like, look about it, dude. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, right? I'm from the East Coast. Marlon's big time girl, women's basketball coach out there, right?
facts.
So, uh, same type of thing, man. A Facebook breaking group, right? Or just a card page, right? It wasn't. I don't even know if it was a breaking group, but I saw, and I don't think Marlon needed my help, but I didn't know him at the time, right? So I see this guy trying to sell. It's like a 1991. It's a upper deck Michael Jordan. You put the card in this product, and it's an audio of a play. It's around 1990, 1991.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it on eBay for $20, but some dude is trying to hawk it to Marlon for $100. So I see that happening, and all I did was message Marlon and go, "Hey, just so you know, if you actually want that, you can get it on eBay for $20 sealed, brand new, still in the product." And then just through that, right? He answered me back. He was like, "Cool." Just through that, we just started talking, and I was like, I have this idea, and I'm going to be coming out to California because I was planning this crazy trip, and then so we actually met up in person in San Diego. But I met Marlon, so essentially met you through Marlon just by sending him a like some hobby love shit, right? Like, hey, don't get scammed. I didn't know if he needed my help, but I saw someone trying to like jerk Marlon for money. So without knowing him, message him, and now, man, Marlon's one of the greatest people.
Yeah, straight up. Marlon is cool, man. Like I said, Marlon and Hussein, man, those guys were joining our breaks. Those guys were trusting, you know what I'm saying, some of our intellect. This is before we were creating content. We were literally breaking, investing in wax. I had been investing in wax and in cards for a while, but it was more of an intention thinking that 20 years from February 2020, these cars gonna go crazy. We didn't know 2-3 months from February 2020 the cars are. I was literally thinking, all right, this is where I make my 20-year investment into wax right now. I know if I buy this product, and this product, in 20 years, it's gonna be worth something. I didn't know in 3 months. 4
Yeah.
months that the hobby would just, 10x.
I don't know how you do it, man. I can't. Bro, you got one of the best wax collections, and I don't know how you do it because I'm. You gotta be kind of like, how do you not rip it though? That's what I need to ask you is how do you not? I understand the money part, so obviously that hits the back of your head. Like, hold on a second, it's I can change the value of this thing, but you have that wax. I need to see what's in there.
Man, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody. There's a lot of wax that I invested in, but at the same time, like some investments are just for me, like personal investments, not necessarily monetary. And the investments that I make for money, I try and I might have 4 boxes that are real investments. And I try, all right, 1 box for each one of my kids. So you get this box when you get to college, you get this box, you get this box. You know what I mean? Other than that, like it's easy to keep it sealed for me because I have a huge toy collection too. And I like my toys new in
Yeah,
box.
yeah,
I like to look at that because for me, it's that feeling of having it, something that I never could have when I was a kid. And if I rip it open, then it's gone, and I gotta keep on repeating to get that feeling back. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
want that box of those packs that my dad used to say, no, we can't afford that right now. You go get that Fleer, go get that Hoops. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So now I have those Topps Finest boxes, and it's like I can look at it every single time, and it feels like my dad got it for me. Look at he put me in position to be where I'm at now to be able to
yeah,
afford it. So now we got it, and I don't want to let it go. You know what I mean? So that's how I don't rip. And then honestly, too, from a collector's point, because when there's ever a birthday, I'm surprised we didn't rip on New Year's. Crazy, but every so often we rip. But I gave cards away on New Year's. If you looked on our IG, we had a nice little
yeah.
fun game. But bro, I've had some luck ripping, but I don't like ripping and not getting anything. Like it's fun, but it's like going to the casino. For me, it's like going to the casino and putting money in the slot machine, even though I don't play slots, and not winning. You know, you know what I mean? Or
I know.
have
I
a
started buying more singles. Like I got some like a few blaster boxes for Christmas, right? And that's fun. I love ripping it and it's whatever.
yeah.
But I've been buying singles recently of like specifically who I collect, right? So yeah, the game's changing, man. Like I'm excited to see where that wax goes because I'm hoping I can find the guy that eventually buys one of yours and rips it open.
Right, right. That'd be crazy if somebody can actually buy one of these boxes off me. People have tried before. You never know. Situations could change, and I might
Like
need that money.
you're holding me to change it. Like, nah, Tim, no one's buying these. No one's ripping.
I've thought about it. It crosses my mind. It's just money and it's monetary. I'm as much as I admire and love these things, they're just objects. You know what I mean? If they had to go, they would have to go, and it wouldn't be no second guessing. Um, Speak on that about monetary or the cards and how special they are. First and foremost, not monetary, but value and how special the cards are to you. You've heard me ask this question to everybody who's been on the show, and we like asking this question because it gives the viewers and the listeners an insight, just a little bit deeper about your why. You know what I mean? And you have, I think, man, your why is strong, bro. It's inspirational. Your story is so man, just so rough. You know what I'm saying? And rough, rugged, and to where you are now, and where you're gonna be and continue to be, man. It's just an inspiration. I know not just me, but I know so many kids that kind of walk the same footsteps you walk and see life through the same lens you do. And to see somebody like you be successful through the trials and tribulations that you've been through. You know what I mean? That story has to be taught. I've heard you share some of that with Amit and Ken on their Culture and Cardboard show. And I'm happy you're here to share it. And one way we like to open it up is by asking somebody or asking you if you can pick somebody to put on a trading card, somebody who inspired you, somebody maybe who you wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this person or group of people. Who would you put on a trading card and why? And this is just today. Next time when we talk, you can put somebody else or the same person on a trading card. You know what I mean? But today, who do you want to give your flowers to and give them their own either 101 or Topps Gold or Exquisite? Who you picking and why?
So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, it's tough, right? So, if you're talking about specifically, I would say it would take to like love the hobby, right? To be where we are now, despite like taking time off, right? After the junk wax ever happens, right? So, when I was young, I hated it, right? it's something that I didn't love, but my father would drop me off about 5:30 in the morning at a golf course, and I'm like 10 years old, sitting in the dark, like before anybody even got there, before the workers got there, and so then uh, and I did this like 7 days a week from 10 to 18. But when I'm younger, right, I didn't understand it. I just knew that my father was dropping me off literally in the dark in this cold, dark place where people literally, and it's kind of where I learned about relationships too, because it was at a fancy country club, right? So they didn't necessarily treat us that well, right? People like the work, right, working.
Right,
Uh,
right, right.
So it gave me a lot of time. But what would happen is so the reason why I appreciate it now is because now I have like a work ethic, right? Back then I didn't want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. At 10, you know what I mean? You just complain.
No, but no, talk about that. I want you to dive into that and talk about how not being accepted, you know what I'm saying? You're working at this club, this golf club, this country club, you know what I mean? And like I want you to talk about some of those emotions that you were feeling like when you were young, being dropped off there, being dark, and then having to cuz man, you got the gift of the gab, Tim. You can survive anywhere. They drop you in any hood in any country, you're going to be able to talk your way into some food and make sure they're not trying to, hold you for ransom. You know what I'm saying? You got that. And now I'm getting a sense of where that came from. You got dropped in the dark in a place where, if you ask me, I thought you would have been welcome, but you're like, nah, man, I was working. They didn't treat me like that. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? So
yeah,
talk about those feelings and emotions because people can relate to that, bro.
yeah. So okay, I'll break it down. So basically, right when I'm that young, right? So I'm already upset, right? I'm already angry as just a young kid. You're waking me up at 5:31. So that's just that first initial kid thought, right? And then you start getting
Facts.
deeper. So
Facts.
now I'm getting dropped off at a place that's literally, they called it the caddy pit, right? It was a cold brick wall, stone. You just sit there. I'm sitting 5:30 in the morning. That's how I found out I could sleep sitting up, right? Like without falling forward, because
Mm,
I was alone for 2 hours in like literally in the dark, right? So then people get there, and then like I said, not that people with money, I'm not trying to make it like a class thing, but the play there wasn't a lot of friendly people to people that didn't have money, right? Not about race, not about nothing, just like class, right? So
right, right, right.
you're at a golf course, these guys are hitting balls, you're running their bags for them, you can hardly carry it, the heavy, they give you $20 after 4 hours, right? But but no, so what was happening for me was I was I became mean, right? I had a lot of like that's what, like when people say like a bully, they don't like themselves. Bro, I had a lot of time to think alone, and I became like a bully, right? So what would happen was, because I was funny, right, and I could talk like you're saying, I would pick on people to make other people laugh. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm in this situation where I'm young, um, I'm being left alone, I'm getting angry, and now I'm taking it out on other people in terms of just like verbal. Like I was never a violent person, but just making a bully, right? Just making fun of people,
Right, right.
um, or really, talking down to people and think I'm better than people. And then obviously when you get old, you get humbled and all that stuff, right?
But you were just doing what was done to you. You were a kid. You were in a situation where people were talking down to you, treating you a certain way. And what do kids do? A lot of times we just do the same thing that was done to us. You know what I'm saying? Especially if uh you were. But I just love how honest you were. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like we're adults now. The kids that you were bullying back then, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna. You
Yeah,
feel me? But it's just that honesty and that truth right there, bro. That's big. Thank you for that.
yeah, it's one of those things, right? I mean, you're either gonna keep being an ass or you're gonna humble yourself, but that's how I really felt that way, and I was just miserable. Well, like so, I get there at 5:30. I latest you get out is noon. As from 10 years old to 13 years old, like not really knowing what work really is, right? You're just like, I hate going to this place. I don't really care about the money because I don't want to be there. Like I don't care. I don't care for these people. Um, yeah, it was a tough time. And the other thing was my brother was 3 years older than me, and he was the caddy master. Now, keep in mind, my brother is essentially the boss. I'm there 2 hours before him. Think about that.
Wow.
And he's my brother. So what would happen was, because he's my older brother, I would say, "Yo, Billy, like I'm miserable. Like I don't want to do this." So then he wouldn't give me a job and then he would take the brunt of it from my father of being like, well, why didn't you, like, you know what I mean? It was just, but
Yeah.
and then the other thing was I wasn't learning about, like, it would be one thing where if they were teaching me about money, but what would happen was I would give half of it to my dad right away and didn't know why. So I was giving half of that, whatever I was making, right to my dad
Okay.
and not knowing. So it was like, I wish it was a situation where it was like, okay, you're earning money, but you're also learning how to save and like taxes and stuff, which, they don't back then, especially, they're not going to teach that in school. So, um, yeah, it was just I was miserable, man, and it turned me into a mean person. And it's a total three, actually not three, 180, right, from what I am now, and why I'm able to be humbled and talk to anyone because everyone has a story, right? I don't want to judge anyone.
Right. Right. That's deep, bro. I never knew that. I never knew that. Like, is that where it started for you? You think that's that experience right there is one of the places where you definitely,
Oh yeah, therapy. I've been to therapy with my father,
yeah,
like you know how my mother, right? Love her, right? Obviously, but she was like, she saw the problems, right? Because she
yeah.
would be in between, like, hey, he doesn't want to do this. You're making like this and that, but it's also the exact thing that got me into the hobby because half the money would go to my dad. I would ride my bike with the other half to Wexler's Rare Coin and buy cards and comic books. So that's where, like, and at that time, where I was buying $4 packs of 96, 97 Flair Showcase, right? So you know what I mean. So that's where the hobby love comes into. That was my outlet. Was cards. Was like, oh, like I can be like these guys, right? Maybe I thought I was gonna be NBA at that point, but like these are like you can hold them in your hand, right? At that point, right, and just go, oh, like these are my idols. So that's how I also got into cards was the money from caddy and being alone, essentially with like the hobby.
So you were doing them both at the same time you were caddying and being dropped off. When you did get your half, when Pops did give you your half, you would use some of that and go buy cards.
Yeah, I never saved. like I literally that was like boom. But come to find out, my father was taking the half and put it in a college fund.
Cool,
But I'm
cool.
saying it was one of those things where I wish he would have taught me to save it
Explained
myself.
it to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
that's how it all started.
all right, let's stay there for a minute. You were about 10, 11, 12 at this time.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old in
10.
'92. So yeah.
So you're riding your bike, 10 years old. You talked about being dropped. So how many times did you ride your bike like not angry or bitter, but upset, like, all right, I don't, or happy, like, man, I don't have to go to work today. It's not 5:30 a.m. It's actually sunny. I'm riding my bike to my favorite place. You know what I mean? To go get these cars. Did you look forward to that because of that? Or were cards in the hobby totally separate? Or did your experience as a child going through something that you didn't like, you know what I'm saying? That was uncomfortable for you on top of a whole other things you probably had to experience, right? As a child, that we all experience as a child, no matter our financial situation. You're still neglect, you're still abused. Not to say you, but just period. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
In the home. Were the cars any type of therapeutic release for you at that time, or was it just all fun and joy?
No, definitely therapeutic. And to this day, honestly, me and my father only talk about cards or basketball or sports in general, but we only talk about my cards to this day. I don't want to say we have a bad relationship, but it's not. We literally only talk about cards and basketball. Um, yeah, so for me, it was probably escape, right? Like just to be in that world. Like it's much better to think about. I hope this pack has. You would think I would say Jordan, but my biggest PC is Isaiah Ryder. Uh, like I don't know that joy, right? That anticipation kind of takes like you're only concentrating on that, so you don't have because my mind races, bro. Like when I tell you, like one of the biggest things was I go back to the alone thing. I had a lot of time to think, and when you're not understanding certain things, your mind can go wherever, right? So yeah, man, I would just say it was a fun release. It was a fun escape. It brought me joy, rather, and it was a different type of joy than when I was bullying the kid in the caddy pit to make other people laugh.
Right.
It was self-contained. Like I was doing it for me. So yeah, I would. well, I would run there sometimes. I got 5 bikes stolen when I was a kid.
Wow.
Bro, so, but I would run there. Like my friends would still have bikes, but I would run with them. Um,
On the
but yeah,
chase for the chase.
yeah, man. Yep.
So
And that
what was the name of the shop? Your first shop, your local shop?
Wexler's, and it's still there now. It's actually right over the border. So I'm from East Providence, Rhode Island. It's right over the border in Massachusetts. It's still there now, but he only does coins.
And then when you were going there at 10 and up, what was it like? Like paint the picture for us. What was that setting like, an environment like? Why was it so? Why did you keep going back? Was it only because they had cards and comics?
No, so Mr. Wexler is real nice. He's still there too.
Wow.
He honestly hasn't looked like he's aged. He's 20, 30 years older now. But so he's there now. No, you just would walk in, and at that time, to the left was comics, right? And like I think Spawn had just come out. So one of my friends was a big Spawn collector. So we would go there every month. Like I would go there like 4 or 5 times a day. But we go. I got a group of friends go there. My brother would take me there. He's a big comic book collector as well, way more into comics. Um, and no, it was a real small place. It looks exactly the same today. It's never been upgraded. It was small, but it was wall to wall, just like visual, you know what I mean? Just visual excitement, right? So and then I remember, so my favorite thing is you would walk in and against the wall would be just hobby boxes, just open. You just take the pack, but it was 96, 97 Flair, the metal showcase, metal universe, and it was right there. And then they were only like $60 a hobby box. But at that time, you can't afford a hobby box, right?
60 bucks was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a
For some
$4 pack,
paper.
$4, and it's like. But the crazy part is, you end up buying whatever 60 pack, whatever I'm trying to say. You'll buy all these packs, but I wish I would have just, because remember I would go every day after, right? So I wish I would have just waited 2 or 3 days, took that 60 and got it. But yeah, I just remember being able to, you just walk straight back. Like I said, it was a small place, but you just, oh man, I can still see it to this day of just I keep saying the 96, 97 Flair, that kind of orangey gold pack. And man, but not to say like, so my father did buy me, what was it, 1990 hoops for Christmas, I think. The one with the Mark Jackson card in it. I think that's 90. It might be 91. Um, but I don't think they had like autos back then, right? They were hobby boxes, but it just meant you got a 200
Yeah, back
card.
then I don't believe the autos didn't come to like almost the later 90s, mid to later 90s though, not necessarily mid, because I used to get excited when those foil autos or those printed autos used to come on cards. And back when I was in third, fourth grade, I used to think they was real. I ain't gonna lie. And then
No,
even when I found out they weren't real, I still told myself they were real. And
yeah,
like, I don't care. It's a real auto for me. Like I didn't go around telling people it was real after that, but for
yeah.
me, it's the closest thing you're gonna get to a real auto. They don't put autos in cards. And I think that's right when they started putting autos in cars. That was gonna be my next question for you. That's when I lightweight. I didn't put the cards down, but that's when it didn't become cool and I became a closet collector. So I kind of put them down. I wasn't as into them. At what stage in your life did you have to put the cards down, or at any point in your life did you have to put the cards down, or you know what I'm saying? What can you talk about that time?
So I got lucky in the sense that my whole childhood collection
Uh-huh.
was preserved at my parents.
So you're like the only one, huh?
Preserved. Good. But back then I didn't put anything in penny sleeves though. So everything was top loaded, like with no penny sleeves. I don't even know if penny sleeves existed back then.
You know what I used to, they did, but you know what? I used to keep everything in binders, right? And when I couldn't have sleeves or loaders, I used to cut my binder sheets and make my own sleeves.
Yeah.
So I'd have these thick sleeves that wouldn't fit in any type of top loader or card saver.
Yeah, no, but that's smart though too though. So I have, like I said, that's why I talk about Isaiah Ryder. So I'm going through and I separated ones. I kind of separated stuff that I would never sell, which like I really try not to sell it. We're doing good right now, so I no need to sell. But I
Right.
got my Jordans, my Shaq separated, and I'm going through and I'm like, I stacked them all next to each other. So my Jordans and Shaqs are stacked high. All of a sudden, you see my Isaiah Ryder stack, and I'm like, that was my dude, J.R. Ryder. when he put
Yeah,
the ball. I think he was. I think it was 94. Did he do that? So I'm 12 years old, I believe, when he put the ball through his legs.
yeah, he from out this way, man, Alameda, man.
No, yeah,
Shout
and
out to that rider.
yeah, that's my guy. That's my all-time like favorite. Well, favorite card. I can't say favorite basketball player. He was my first jersey though. I bought J.C. Penney. Remember those the J.C. Penney ones? The
Yeah,
champion, size 44, and you're just killing it.
yeah. And me and Slabby was just talking about Slabby used to have every single one of those.
Dude, listen, I had 32 jerseys at once. Everyone from Keith Van Horn to Sharif Abdul Rahim to Isaiah Ryder was my first one. But yeah, man.
Sharif
Those
out this way too. Cal Bear, Sharif, man.
those went up in price too, though, as collectibles. The J.C. Penney ones, not even like they're authentic champion, but you know what I mean. Like they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are unbelievable. Um, Damn, did I go off topic? What was the question? Because I got excited.
No, we was talking about so we collected as youth. Everybody has their story when they started collecting, and then something happened in life. Either it was school, you hit puberty and you
Oh,
got
okay, yeah.
into girls, or you know what I'm saying, you started playing sports more. What was it? Life. Some people was like, no, my childhood wasn't like any of that. I just had to get a job, or I had to grow up quick. You know, everybody has their own story. You know, we all hit these milestones and experience different things or the same things at different times. What was your story? Why did you have to put the cars down if you had to put the cars down?
So it's still, so to progress from the story when I said I'm 10 to 18 years old,
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
that 6, 7 days a week as long as it's not snow on the ground, right? So
So
I
how
had
long? Well, so I'm sorry. How long were so at this golf club, the job? How long did you have that job?
8 years.
8 years. Okay, so from 10 to 18. All right, keep going. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So then, well, listen, like I'm a real independent person, but also I was angry at the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always had in my head like the number 18 means you can move out of your house, right? Like you can right get away from your parents. My birthday is May 24th. I think at that time we were graduating around that time. Now it gets pushed back to like June sometimes, but at that time, as long as there was no snow days, you kind of. I moved out of my parents' house immediately as after high school, like the next day, as soon as I was 18.
Okay.
Everything stayed there, but from that point, from when I'm 18, I started essentially. I was still in that frame of mind where I was like lost, right? Like I've been alone for right. So I started moving places, right? So I drove to so first thing I did was I drove to Orlando 48 hours. I drove there, put $50 down on apartment, drove home, saved saved for a month. Oh, I gotta plug my laptop in, bro. I'm sorry.
Yep. All good. All good. Take your time, brother.
Yeah, give
You
me one
good.
sec.
Yep. Take your time. You good. Man, I love this story, man. I
All
love
this
this story.
positive energy you're bringing is draining my battery.
It's all good, man. Take your time. Go get that. A lot of this I've never heard before, so I'm excited and looking forward to actually this is putting a lot together, piecing everything together for me.
All right, I gotta figure a way though.
Mama told me. Oh, I like that picture in the back you got there, that portrait. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's my guy, and
Is that Chipper?
yeah, so that's my favorite overall athlete is Chipper Jones.
Why?
I played third base, and
Okay.
I want to say I played third base before I knew about him,
Okay.
but essentially, in my opinion, he's the reason why I played third base. I actually met him at the National this year too.
That's dope. So Chipper, I can honestly say now that probably from ages, I don't know how old I was when Chipper and Andrew Jones and the Braves and them were really, you know what I'm saying, raw. They were really, really young. He was young, but when I was a kid, I was a Braves fan because I guess I kind of thought maybe Atlanta was close to the Bay Area, and I'll tell you why I thought that. I don't even remember the channel, but I just know at our granny house we didn't have cable. We had simple cable to where you still had the wire hanger on the TV antenna, right? Those are
With
the
that
TVs
little,
I grew up with, right? The
with that
wire
little
hanger
weird
TV.
clip.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, with that little weird clip on the end.
Yeah, and you had to wiggle the back to get the stations right, and then sometimes you even had to have a family member hold it just to play the video game or to get that channel to stick or something like that. Remember that?
Oh yeah. All right, am I
Yeah.
frozen now?
Yep, you froze. I can hear you though.
I'm plugged
You're
in though.
smiling though. You're smiling, so it looked good.
Look at that. Look at them blue eyes too.
Dreamy, man.
All right, we gotta figure
Dreamy.
this out. You want to put me back in the?
Yeah, let's see. There we go. Hold on. Bam. Now you gone. See, I had your eyes and I had your smile, and now it's just disappeared.
Hey, can you
Rome,
hear
what's
me?
up with it, bro? I can definitely hear you. Hold
All
on.
right, I'll be right back.
All
Hey,
right.
this is the beauty of live interviews, though. No.
It is. It is, man. Take your time.
Uh,
I'm gonna keep on telling my story. So I'm I got to be between 7 and I don't know 12 or something like that, somewhere around there. I don't remember, but I just know when we were watching the games, all we can get from those TVs, either at my granny house or at home or my auntie house, was Atlanta Brave games. I think it was TBS, maybe. That was a regular channel. So anything Atlanta, we was getting. So I probably watched every Braves game growing up because that's all we were, on that little TV right next to our granny kitchen, little box TV with the antenna and the hanger coming out that thing. Yeah, we was watching that, or we was watching the soap operas. So we either gonna watch Braves game or you gonna watch, Young and the Restless. You know what I mean? So we chose to watch the Braves game when we was allowed to. When Granny was watching Young and the Restless, you had to watch that Young and the Restless, and we watched it for sure. You know what I mean? But anytime we can turn that dial and switch the channel, there wasn't no controller for that TV. You had to go up there. There was two knobs. I don't know why the knobs had anything over 13 channels on it, because you wasn't never getting to no other channels. You know what I mean? But yeah, you turn that knob and then we switch it to whatever the channel was for the Braves game. There was a whole bunch of stuff that used to come on there. Tim, you back? You can hear me?
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I was just telling them that the reason why the Braves were my favorite team, unbeknown as a young, like I didn't wear Brave stuff, but I wasn't a baseball player. But all we had on our little cable TV was I think it was TBS or Turner TV, some kind of channel where all we got every Braves game. I
Yeah,
don't even remember. I didn't even know the A's and Giants existed until my dad told me about them. I thought the Atlanta Braves was the only baseball team that got to play these random other teams because they were on TV
yeah.
every single day.
I assume that's most likely the same reason why they became my team
Yeah,
because I could see them. And then, so my second favorite athlete is Andrew Jones because I think he's still the youngest player ever to play in the World Series, but he
I
was a
think so.
monster. He was a
The
monster. I think
beast.
he was 19 when he was in there.
Yeah, so I remember that was one of my favorite guys too. I loved anybody who was the Braves back then because, like, again, that was the only team that we got to see. But Andrew Jones was probably one of the baseball players that made me want to go try and play baseball. And I
Yeah,
tried. My dad took me to a park. He took me to a team tryout, made the team. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. Since we're being honest, those kids were throwing the ball way too fast. All right,
yeah,
way too fast. My dad would take me to the batting cages, and I would try and adjust. But those kids were throwing the ball way too fast, and outfield was way too boring. I was one of those kids where the way my attention worked, my attention span worked. You can't just put me in a spot and expect me to just
Pat,
stand there. Like
Pat,
it's
yeah.
not going.
Listen,
I'm gonna be the kid digging up dirt, doing science field projects, or picking my boogers, looking in the stands. Like it just didn't work out. And I knew at 9 that baseball. I wish I would have had somebody push me and I would have stuck to it. But to myself at 9, I knew baseball wasn't for me.
yeah, no, I liked it, but I got Bill. You remember Bill Buckner, the Boston situation, the Boston Red Sox goes through his legs.
With Bill Buckner,
Yeah,
no,
Bill
what
Buckner.
happened?
That's
Uh-uh.
the famous Red Sox player. They hit the ball right under his legs. He played first base. He could have just won the World Series, but anyways, that happened to me in the playoffs, bro. At third base, right through my legs, easy ground ball, blew it. That's
Oh,
like though.
I'll give you since you shared an embarrassing story before we get back on topic. That's why I love this. It's so raw and uncut. I was in the 10th or 11th grade. I was either going into the 10th or I think I was going into the 11th, going into the 12th grade. I was in 11th grade, going into the 12th grade. We were playing summer league basketball from my high school. I went to a private high school in Oakland, St. Elizabeth. But anybody who went to St. Elizabeth know that it's the most public private high school in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of parents who worked hard to put their kids in a private school, but we were so spoiled and privileged. And the area where the school was in the middle of East Oakland, you know what I'm saying, in the dirty 30s, it was real public environment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But anyway, I'm playing on the basketball team, and this was the first time in my life where I was actually considered a good basketball player to myself more than anything. Other people used to think I was good, but I was never confident. At this point, I was confident because I put in the work. And then one of my best friend at the time, my best friends, he was a superstar his whole life. He played college ball, all that. He played against JJ Barrera in college. You know what I'm saying? He used to serve JJ Barrera too. But anyway, he was actually playing AAU ball. So I got to, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, ooh, I guess my coming out party this summer. You know, I get to shoot more. And then our real head coach was having surgery. So we had the freshman coach and he loved me. So I'm getting all this playing time. We're in Alameda, I think. I think we're in College of Alameda and we're playing against Bishop O'Dowd. And at the time, I don't remember this gentleman's name, but they had a superstar on their team. He was like 6'4", 6'5". He was dunking, doing all. He was raw. He was good. You know what I'm saying? He went on to play college ball and everything. But I'll never forget it. I was bringing the ball up court, and I passed the ball to the wing. You know, I thought I saw something on the wing. I passed the ball to the wing, and this guy, he steals the ball. You know what I'm saying? He picked it off. He read it. He picked it off, and then I run down to try and play defense. So it's just a one-on-one play. He's dribbling the basketball. It's a fast break. He's dribbling the basketball, and he goes up like he's about to do a layup. Like he starts off
You
like
fell
this.
for it?
So he jumps like right around the dotted line. He starts off like he's about to do a finesse layup. So I see that, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, react, try and get the ball. It's a finesse layup. Just try and distract him, right? He's in the air. As soon as he sees me think about making a play, he turns it into a tomahawk jam, right?
No,
No, yes, he does. I'm in the air, like it was crazy. He goes like, and then he just turns it into a tomahawk jam, bro. And then I'm in the air looking up, like what's going on? And then he slams the basketball down. Right, the basketball goes through the rim, through the net, off my forehead,
no.
and
See
to
that?
the deepest corner opposite of the gym it can go. I got a delay of game warning called on me because I got dunked on and the ball got off my head. Everybody on my team on the bench was laughing at me.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I couldn't jump high enough to even thinking about jumping with someone like that. But yeah, nah, man, that's not a good look. But thank you
Nah.
for sharing that though with me because it makes me feel better
Yeah,
about
yeah,
my.
of course. That was the only time I ever got dunked on. And I played some college ball against some people who could really dunk. I stayed out the way. I learned my lesson after that. Like, okay, since I'm getting playing time now, I can't be playing with these these people who can jump. Boy, you 5'9". Stop it. Yeah, so back on it. We were talking about why you had to put the cars down. You were talking about,
Yeah,
being 10 to 18. That part, and then yeah.
yeah. So I move out of my parents' house, right?
Yep,
And
yep,
then
yep, yep.
so we're living in my first apartment. Uh, my brother survived, but my brother did try to commit suicide. And so he survived it. He left the apartment, went back to my parents' house to do it. But so I think what had happened at that point in my life was I started running almost from myself, right? So when you start to have type of thoughts, because remember, I've been alone for a while. That
Right.
thing happens. Now my mind's always racing. I have that real ADHD too. Like I got that. So like my mind's always racing and putting thoughts together, right? So at that point, I just started moving anywhere I wanted to go. So I moved down to Orlando. I met a bunch of good people in Orlando from all over the country. Uh, I met a girl down there who got me a job in New York. So then I moved to New York. When I was in New York, I was working maintenance. One guy was from Texas, one guy was from California. They say, hey, if you ever want to come out there. So I moved to Texas, and I'm living in a trailer park with a family. My room's a walk-in closet. Then after that, I go back to New York, and then from there, I I just get in my car and I drive to Oceanside. So I lived in Oceanside, California. That's how I have a California connection because I literally just got in my car at that point and drove to California. And
Why?
my boy that I met in New York was like, "Hey, if you ever, we know you like to travel. You got a place to stay if you ever come to California." So I was like, "Okay." I got in my car and drove.
And this is because, like you were saying, you're used to being alone. Is that be like you just it wasn't that made sense to you? Like for me, I'm asking why because me, I'm so, I guess you could say I'm so sheltered, right? And I have the opposite type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a rush for me to get out the house when I was 18. It
Yeah,
was more of I had to stay in the house and kind of now pay my parents back for everything they did. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody has their
yeah,
own situation.
yeah.
But even if it wasn't that, because of the way I was raised, I probably would have had a fear of doing something like you did. I didn't do what you did till I was almost 24, 25 type thing. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, but
like,
see, right, but so put it this way. My fiance, I have a fiance now, and I told her parents this, and they were like, "I would smack you if you did this." I literally was real independent. So when I moved, my first move when I moved to Orlando, my mother called me and was like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a week. Are you coming to visit?" I was like, "I live in Orlando now." Like that's how, and I did that. I've done that like 3 times where they're like, "Hey, where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I live in Miami. I live in San Diego."
yeah,
So, so now I'm living in San Diego, right?
okay,
And listen, the guys that walk around selling perfume and cologne?
that's you.
I did that in California, in the streets, walking around, walking into Walmart, trying to sell them $20 fake Issey Miyake. Bro, that was me. I almost got arrested in Vallejo. I think I told you this story before. But anyways, but someone said that we sprayed them in the face with cologne and they called the cops. But anyways, so now I'm living in San Diego, right? Check this out. Now I'm living in San Diego, and I met. She's still a very good friend to me today. She was from the Bay Area. She was from Fremont. She actually lives in Hayward now. She was like, "Hey, do you want to move up to where I'm from?" And I was like, "Yup, no problem." So I ended up after that situation, I ended up being homeless in San Francisco. Uh, well, sleeping on someone's couch, either in on a couch or in a car, was what homeless. If you want to say homeless, like I had a place to sleep though.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I did that in San Francisco, and then came back from San Francisco, and then I lived essentially homeless on South Beach, Miami, for like a month and a half. I would dig a hole. I would dig a hole in the beach and push the sand up to one side of the hole and use that as a pillow and sleep in a hole in right on South Beach, bro. I used to get woken up by the lifeguards, like you got to move, and I'd say no problem.
Y'all
Like,
hear that? Out the mud. Like literally, that's out the mud.
yeah. So, but the thing was this, right? It wasn't
Crazy.
because of lack of money. It was because of two things. I was running from myself, but I also thought that I always had something bigger for me in store. And I
Mhm.
think the anxiousness of it not happening soon just kept leading me to do different things. But now look, right? The way I met Marlon, the way I met you, essentially through Marlon, even though I saw that music video before I met Marlon, was because I took the chance to drive cross country and travel to like 5 states on the West Coast to introduce just a picture of my product. Because if you remember, before we knew each other, I sent you a picture of my product, and it wasn't even good. I have it right here, the original picture I sent you, the original case. That's not. It's not even good, right? It's my prototype, but you saw it and understood it right away. Uh, but it took more work to get it done. But nah, man, I've always just been like, if if I feel like there's an opportunity or I feel like there's taking a chance, I'll just get in my car and drive somewhere and figure it out later. It wasn't for lack of money. I literally had nowhere to stay. I went to Miami and I was like, damn, there's no apartments right now. I can't afford them. So I just slept in my car. So after I was sleeping on South Beach, the cops had been like, hey, buddy, it's South Beach, right? So go across the bridge. And if anyone ever watches this from Miami, I was sleeping in Overtown, which is it's not a good area, right? There's just no way else to say it. So I found these two buildings that were about to be knocked down because they were building hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I would park next to the dumpster
Mm-hmm.
and sleep right next to the dumpster. Wake up every morning, sneak into the DoubleTree Hotel, wash up, shoot a little hoops, little gym, and yeah, bro. And so that was right there. The DoubleTree's still there today. Like I actually last year went back to the place where I used to sleep in Miami to see it.
Wow.
So just to see it, like, and to show my fiance was with me to be like, yo, this is where we slept. You know what I mean? Like this is
So I got a question for you. You talked about we talked about the country club 10 to 18, that experience, that job, that life and job experience, right? And you developed and learned a lot of when you were younger, you developed some bad habits from it, right? But as you were definitely got some good habits and some skills and lessons that you carry with you today. I want to go back just a little bit because I've also had a job similar to you where I've been out on corners selling colognes or Cutco knives or it just miscellaneous things for whatever company or business it was. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to do a legit legal
right.
flip. Talk about that job, bro. Talk about because man, Tim, I know you as a guy that like I don't know if you hear the word no the same way everybody hears no. I think when people tell you no, you hear I love you, Tim, not right now, or something like that. Because I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it doesn't feel like no gets you down the way it gets other people down. Like, you still see opportunity in the word no, and you still have empathy and understanding around that. Where did that come from? Like, have you been like told no that many times? You know what I mean? Can you talk about that a little bit? Because we have some young viewers, and I always tell the kids that when I've been fortunate enough through my job and community work to be around some of these athletes in the Bay Area. And I always make sure I bring kids. My kids don't care about them. So I bring kids who actually care about them and it'll inspire them, you know what I'm saying, around them. And the kids get nervous and they get shy. Say, oh, coach, can you go ask them for an auto? No. I mean, I will if they're really sky, but first it's like, no, you have to ask. You have to be, they're either going to say yes or no. And you have to get used to people telling you no and it being
Yeah.
okay. So can you talk about when was your first time being told no? How did it make you feel? And then when were you just like, did you stop understanding what no meant, Tim? Because I remember I've told Tim no before, and you would think we wouldn't be buddies right now. But Tim doesn't understand the word no. Look
Yeah,
at
let's just get, and that's the best thing about my product though too, because you can say no, but I can also throw it at you, so it doesn't matter.
him.
No, so honestly, I would say at a certain point, right in the beginning, when you're told no a lot, yeah, it's more about the no's. But so I have a friend that makes music, right, and uh, that's the original reason why I moved to Miami because he was like, "Hey, we went and sold CDs. That's how I was homeless. We went and sold CDs, slept in the car, made enough money, and then we got an apartment in Hollywood, uh, Florida." But we would always talk about like the struggle of it, and so I can only put it like this. Now I have memories of all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know when they say like time heals everything, I no longer have that like broken-hearted, like anxious, tight-chested feeling like when you lose your first girlfriend and she's talking
Yeah.
to another guy. Like there's no more like I have the memory of the moments, but I don't have that feeling anymore. So I used to tell my friends, I'm like, listen, think about this, right? We're struggling right now, right? We're homeless. We've been homeless for a month and a half, right? If we make it, that month and a half will be the most minute time in our lives, right? So just instead of breaking down his nose, I just a no means a little bit more time, a little bit more time. Okay, you're gonna say no to me now? Give me like 5 minutes, and now you see that my guy Peter Packman's interviewing me. So now maybe you want to talk to me right now. So now like it's not the you got to get past the nose. There's no way to get past the nose. Like you're gonna, but there's some cookie cutter answers, right? Like 100 no's for one yes and all that. It's honestly, people don't have the same dreams as you, and you can't be mad at them for it. You can't be mad that you know if like Slabby didn't want to make music with you, right? If he
Right.
only wanted to, but you can't be mad at him. Accept it, right? So you just can't be mad at other people, and that's the thing I found starting a business too, right? Because I've had friends like, hey, let's work together, blah blah blah, and it's just people don't have the same dream, so you can't get mad at that. you never really know why there's a no answer. It could be personal, but
Right.
it could be any reason. Maybe that person's going through a tough time, and maybe you flip that no into a yes for no other reason that you stayed in contact with that person. It never mentioned anything again, but all of a sudden they see you doing successful, they're successful again. So man, like no's. It's funny because I have a friend that works for the Ringer, and she said the same thing, and she's known me for a while. And she goes, Tim, through this part of the process, not a lot of people have been saying no to you. She goes, aren't you scared of the no's? And I'm like, you know me though, you know that. Plus, I'm pretty quick witted. Like even when it does hurt, right? Make a little quick witted joke, right? Everyone, well,
Yeah.
because I've had people tell me for my product, oh, you're gonna make a case for a case, and my user response is, where do you see my next product? It's a case for that case. So
Somebody better do it. There's money in it.
yeah. So it's funny too about this whole like no's and like almost like negative situations. You can't look at a no as a negative situation. It's
No.
just some things don't make sense for everyone, right? Like if 100% of the people were gonna watch this podcast or buy my product, we probably wouldn't be doing this right now because we'd have people working for us, and then where would the energy be, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
We're on top. We'd be. I probably wouldn't have this story if there was only yeses, right? Because it would be an easy breezy life, and that's
Exactly.
not. But I love going on trips and I love going on vacations, and I use those as I'm like, you got to somewhat be proud of yourself, right? So I would just say with the no's, just know that not everyone's dream is the same. Not everything's personal, and to get the no's. It's a lot more fun when you get a yes. Like the yes is like 10 times X the no's in terms of feeling. You know.
Right. 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 Okay. This is perfect. Can you hear me? Because on my end it's starting to sound funny, but it's gonna catch back up. Okay, cool. There we go. It caught back up. All right, this is perfect. Because now we've been on for almost an hour now, and I love it about this because while you're wearing your product, we've heard about your product. We haven't dove into your product yet. We've dove into Tim. We've talked about us. We've talked about others. Right. So this is perfect. I like this now because now we've talked about kind of just a little bit of who Tim is and why he is the way he is, you know what I mean, through my lens and my experiences and things that I would love and we would love to know about you. You have an excellent product, Slab Strong. I don't even think Slab Strong. Slab Strong, like my parents would say, boy, you weren't even thought of. You know what I mean? Slab Strong was when me and Tim met. Slab Strong was not even thought of. Was it, Tim, or am I wrong? It wasn't, right?
No, so it was, but if you remember, I only had a picture.
You only have a picture, yeah.
Because that was taken by, and this is actually it. This is the very first 3D printed prototype that I sent a picture to you. Yeah. But the thing was, with you just, even though like it's different frame now, like this is different, this is smaller, it goes in a different way. You saw it and just immediately showed support, and I really felt that you not only showed support, but you actually thought the product was good, right?
I pushed you. I knew it was good. I didn't think. I knew it was good.
Oh yeah, you gave me some advice that there's a little detail we got to leave out today, but you gave me some advice on like not selling my company or how to like that panned out to be true, to be like a real statement, and which I'm sure that everyone will know in 2022. I just can't say anything right now. Yeah. So with the Slab Strong product, man, I really wanted to. Really, I just wanted to change the color of slabs. I never in the beginning intended to protect it, and it wasn't until I designed it and had it made, and then I was like, okay, wait a minute, and I started literally throwing it around, like throwing it on the ground. I'm like, okay, it actually protects. So now, and then I went to a patent attorney and everything. But to get back from the original idea, it was just, man, I had lost my job, and my fiance broke her ankle literally 2 hours after asking to marry me, and we went down to nothing again. Like now I'm 38 years old with the same type of stories that I've been living my whole life of like moving places, losing everything. And so honestly, so I always tell this story about essentially meeting Marlon essentially introducing him to Renee from Storage Wars. And so now, even though I had seen your music video, the Rip My Pack, I Marlon just looked at me and goes, "You seen my boy Peter Pacman with the song?" I go, "Yeah, I wanted to do like I wanted to have like a commercial." And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Nope, I'm not making that commercial because you guys did it." I tell you, like, I was like, "Oh, that's not my lane," right? And we even talked about. Remember, I was like, "Yo, I want it," and you were like, what was it? It was basically like you always, not always thought, but there's certain times I say things, even in Chicago. I was like, yo, I made a song. And I was talking about I made it onto one of your songs.
Songs,
I
yeah.
knew you saying my name, but but no, I just thought it was so dope what you were doing. And so I had reached out to you, and then it's just magic since then, man. It's just been like seeing what you're doing, and and it's just been great, man. The fact that it's only been, hasn't it felt like though that we've been grinding this year for longer though? Like this year's been, this past year.
It is because it's crazy because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You got to put in a lot of work to have this result right there, to have that product in front of you, and in so many hobby households across the nation and beyond. I mean, that's a value, man. You've given the hobby something, people, an option, a resource that we didn't have before, and that's why you're a testament, and you're a story, and you're real. You're a truth. You're a hobby truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all been a part of the hobby since young, and we've added value as far as giving our energy and our money to the hobby. But now at 37 and 38, collectively, we've found ways to literally add value to the hobby. And now look, you've actually found a business endeavor at the same time, a way to take care of you and your family, man.
Isn't it beautiful though?
That's crazy.
That's the thing too. And I know I know you're an educator and you love it, right? So like
Yeah.
it's beautiful so I've been essentially everywhere I've gone, I've been a restaurant manager. It's usually the easiest job to get. I'll get dishwashing jobs first, be a line cook, then move up to manager relatively quick. Restaurants are pretty easy to get jobs into. So I never was, anytime I was traveling, it's not like I didn't have a job and I was homeless. I would still go to work. I still would go places and have a job, right? But it's beautiful now. So when I lost everything last year and Nikki had broken her ankle and we lost her form of income.
Shout out Nikki, man. She is solid soldier,
Oh,
always there by your side every single
yeah.
time, man. So shout out Nikki for sure, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another reason too. And I really mean this. The reason why I always tell the story about you is because I really respected what you were doing at that point. And for you to say, essentially like one of those things, Tim, that's genius, go for it type thing. Like do your thing, do your thing. That meant a lot to me. And in the same aspect, Nikki not looking at me crazy when I say, hey, there's thousands of dollars worth of cardboard that's surrounded by plastic already, but just trust me, people are going to want that plastic like protected. Just, you know what I mean? And she was like, okay, you know what I mean? And then kept playing Angry Birds. But so in these situations, man, like, and it hasn't been only, I gotta say, I have a good product, right? And it works, and I really love the color schemes going. But this has been the first time to like kind of close the gap on the 10 to 18-year-old story. I don't feel alone in this hobby. I don't feel like people are against me. I have a lot of good friends. We have a lot of mutual friends that can't be friends with each other. Well, and some people that aren't mutual friends.
Yeah, no, I'm you seeing that in the hobby. You see that, yeah.
We have. Listen, I know people now that I would never expect to know or to give me a shot, but I'm coming into this hobby as a true collector, as someone that just had an idea that's trying to provide for his family and have a lot of fun in an industry that I love, right? That's what it's about. Yeah.
So how good does it feel? So talking about from 10 to 18, then after that, and then having these jobs inside of restaurants too, right? So you were at a golf club, you're basically a servant right? You're basically an assistant, a
Yeah,
servant. You're a worker, right? You're doing a job for somebody else, for another company. You get paid whatever you get paid, right? Then now you're selling cologne. And for people who don't know, who haven't had that job or been approached by somebody like Tim and I, you're minding your business and we're trying to sell you something. Okay. So
yeah.
it's our job to intrude
Something
your
you don't
personal
want
space.
either. Something
Yeah.
you don't want or need.
Yeah. We're invading your personal space to sell you something we don't even believe in. But we're telling ourselves that we're gonna believe in it just to be able to sell it so we can make ends meet or so we can do whatever our end goal is for having this job, pay bills, survive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward to now, and then or now you're working in restaurants before now, right? You're working in restaurants. Again, it's not your own restaurant. You may love some of the people across this whole experience. You met a lot of people, built a lot of relationships. That, of course, you taking with you, but none of this stuff was essentially for you. Now
Right,
it's Slab Strong, bro. This is
right.
you. Slab Strong means Tim. How does it feel to go for your whole life working for somebody, not working, just working for somebody else, but selling a product or selling whatever you had to sell or whatever you had to do, service you had to provide, and it wasn't necessarily for you. It was for somebody else. And I know you felt good probably making other people smile, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
things like that. But at the same time, now this is your product. Talk about, is there a difference when you're selling cologne for Perry Ellis, or and there a difference when you're selling Slab Strong for Tim?
Yeah, but to be so the absolutely on the selling end of it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm way more excited. I usually people can tell that it's my product, right? That I'm not just a salesman for it, right? That it's mine because of my passion.
Right.
But I'm not sure if it's hit me yet that I own my own business. I
Huh.
really don't because it's so I've only truly been in actual LLC since May 20th. That's when my website opened.
Right.
I've done a lot in a short period of time, and it's kind of like so I'm not sure if I it's really tough, right? Because all of a sudden it's not like you're told to stay at home because there's a pandemic. Now you're waking up and you got a business to run, and it's literally like you got to wake up one day and go, if I go back to sleep right now,
It's over.
my business ends, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, um, man, it's wild. So the business side of things, it's still, I think I'm still in that honeymoon phase,
Right.
but absolutely being able to sell a product that not only, it's not like when you get a new job, right? You get trained, right? You get trained how to sell a cell phone. You get trained how to input on QuickBooks for your restaurant. But for me to wake up and have to, like I'm making the train, like if I
You're
don't,
creating that. Yeah.
I'm doing that. And it's like, it's so crazy, man, because a lot of the times when it's like that, you're less likely, you might get the same amount of no's, but you're less likely to get the real negative ones. You're more likely to get the no's that are like encouraging, like that's a really good idea. A lot of people aren't like you, Pack, that see something and will go all in on it not right away, but with some thought of, hey, this is a future project, like this is
Right.
something in the future that's going to come. There's just not a lot of people like that. And if there were, we'd all have businesses and products, right? So,
Right. Right.
um, man, so I'm 38 years old when I have the idea. I'm 39 now. I'll be 40 in May, and I don't regret anything that happened in my life, but man, it's such a great feeling to talk about my product, right? Like,
Yes.
it's awesome because now it's not like I used to sell cell phones and I didn't even have that service. I had Sprint and I was selling Singular, right? And like people ask you, like, oh, what do you recommend it? And it's like, I only recommend it because they're cutting me a check.
Right.
I mean, so like,
Exactly. Exactly.
it's unbelievable. And so here's the thing, right? This is what I found, and this is proof right now of what I'm about to say. There's a lot of good products, good people, and I just want to go back to I don't feel alone anymore. From day one, my guy Marlon, Peter Pac-Man, and Renee from Storage Wars, they set me on this course of Tim, you go for it, go for it, go for it, without even knowing me. Very positive. And then I come back to the East Coast, and I got guys like Corey from Show Your Slabs and Dan from Stand Up Displays, Dab
Love.
Sports, the
Love.
Golden Collector.
Love. Romeo.
Yeah, bro. I just had, and now he's working with Masvidal. And Masvidal, like, think about this,
Oh.
right? Think about all. how we all like we're all coming up together. I feel like so now Masvidal throws my product in Vegas, which was one of my favorite videos, and now my guy Ray, the Golden Collector, is working for Masvidal, and it's like,
Shout out Ramon.
yeah, there's a lot of dope people in the hobby, and we're not enemies. Like we're all moving together, and it's so beautiful. So I just wanted to like we talk about giving flowers and everything, and yeah, so I had a lot of I don't feel alone anymore. That's probably my biggest feeling. That's why I keep going back to it when we talk about selling my product. Like I don't feel alone anymore.
Right.
And I don't mean that before the product too, because obviously I have Nikki. So this has been years. But in this hobby, I don't feel I've been um, accepted by everyone, or it has have at least been given the opportunity to talk to, and it's beautiful.
And that's one thing I admire about you, bro. It's almost pretty much everybody we've had on so far, and a whole lot host of other people. But you, almost say his name every single show. I'm gonna say it again. Prism God,
Oh, see,
everybody you
bro,
name.
this guy's my dude. Like how Rafi, bro. Ra- that's another. That's what I'm trying to say. Prism God walked up to me at the National, and I know him too because he has a dope show in Atlanta. Culture Collision's
Culture
awesome.
Collision,
I'll be
yeah.
there in February too. So his is in February. That's just another dude. So Rafi Prism God, we knows we all know as Prism God. Oh, he walked up to me right at the National. He goes, Tim, how much are they? I want 10. And I'm like, oh, for you, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's like, no, Tim, I want to support.
Nah,
What do
yeah.
you charge? Like, what? So, but just to be on that point, like someone like him, bro, I'm still amazed at the people I'm meeting that I truly respect, that show respect to me. Like you just saw the thing with Jay from Mojo Autographs.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't joking when I said that to him. I'm like, yo, Jay, like I just never had the opportunity to talk to you.
Shout
You're
out
usually
Mojo.
doing your thing. I don't want to sneak onto your video, right? I'm not just going to put myself on your video. I introduced myself. He's like, no, let's film something. So it's like that type of love from everyone, man. Like unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, man, that love you I love watching how you all build relationships. You know what I mean? I love watching how you all treat everyone the same. I
Yeah,
love watching how you all can separate, how y'all can be better than me. Let's just keep it what it is and keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are good. I still walk around with because of my upbringing and the way I've been programmed, either intentionally or unintentionally by myself. You know what I'm saying? Um, I
yeah.
still walk. I still walk around with like caution signs, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, protecting myself and Slab and Rip and us from some certain things, just because of, you know, situations and experiences that we've been in and we've encountered. But you all remind us daily by the way y'all move and how y'all treat people that it's okay. You know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about business. Um, yeah, I just love that about y'all, because it's exactly why you're able to start a business and be successful from May 20th to today. You know what I mean? Because you build that rapport. People trust you. You go out on a limb for other people. People go out on a limb for you. People see you working hard every single day. You're out there. Like Wiz was just saying, that people don't know how important it is in the hobby to be out there and for people to get comfortable with you. Like people have to learn and grow and get to know who you are. That's just in life in general. I work in schools, and when a new student comes to the school, they don't like me 100% of the time. They don't like everybody. It's new. A lot of time, you know what I'm saying? So they have to adjust and get welcomed in. And even if they don't get welcomed in, they have to adjust. And everybody has their own way to adjust and time frame on adjusting to either a culture, a person, or a group of people. And that's what I have to remind myself, inside the hobby and outside the hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough though too because one thing I want to bring up is so I had and it goes back to it's just the way I am. So I was told, really good friend, still one of my boys, everything, right? He was like, he was helping me with this, and he's like, Tim, a lot of people don't have time for like face to face stuff. Like you got to learn how to email more.
Yeah,
I'm
Tim
like,
want to do everything face to for show for sure.
no, like I'll drive. Like that's how I met Tyler from HGA. He was like, hey, if you come to Knoxville, I'll give you time. Okay, I drove 14 hours straight and went to go see him, right? So, but it's the same aspect of going to these card shows. Like I can show on my Instagram Miles Vidal throwing my case. I can show on my Facebook Steve Aoki enjoying my pitch in Chicago at your party with Reza. Um, But
Shout out Rez and the Hobby
yeah,
Connectors.
shout out Reza, Sappy, Hobby Connectors, Omar, Dario, all those guys. You can do that, right? But I've had people message me before. I have all the raw footage of me throwing it off my balcony, rooftops, all this stuff. But I have people messaging me like, "Oh, how come you don't show?" Like, well, first of all, you only got a certain amount of time on TikTok or whatever to have a nice little edited video. But I keep all my raw footage, so if someone does question the fact like that, they think that we're switching out cards or whatever, right? Um, but I found it the passion comes through, I think, through video. But when I get in front of someone, man, there's like literally there's no stopping me because, like I said before, you can say no to me, but I can still throw my product, and it always catches people off guard, regardless. Like I've had people turn and just like not understand what was happening. Literally, they're just like, "What? Why is it like? Who? First of all, who are you, and why are you throwing things at me?" And but it's been so fun, man. Can you imagine, like, literally just being like, "Oh, your product looks cool, thank you," and just throw it at them? Like, I love it, bro.
Man, bro, I love seeing it. I love
Yeah,
seeing it. My favorite part about it, it never gets old to me, bro, is the smile on your face, bro. Like, and it's just the passion and just how I don't know. For me, when I see you do it, I don't know if when I watch you do it, it adds something to my life. It makes me happier. You know what I mean? And it can be in a moment when I don't think I need it. It can be in a moment where not again. You know what I'm saying? But then after watching you do it, you know, the whole execution of it, because it just seems so organic and it's real, bro. Like, yeah, you can say it's a like you're doing an act, like, you know what I'm saying, you're putting on a mimic or an act, but it's real though. Like,
yeah, I love it, bro.
it's real.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I just
I
love
guess
that,
it
bro.
is. So it does turn into at some point it turns into okay, that's the guy that throws slabs, but I'm never like that's really in me though. Like I'm really just like out there like
Yeah, that's nothing. Like that's minor. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like
Bro, once I found out, like once I started doing testing, like think about it. I've tested it. I've thrown it off. Like Corey from Show Your Slabs, he's thrown it off a rooftop in Chicago. I've thrown it off my second floor balcony. What else have we done? We skipped it across the Moth from Whatnot. One of the guys at Whatnot skipped it across the concrete, like it was like a puddle. And every time, it still gives me a minor heart attack. But you know how confident I am now? Like the way I treat these things. Oh, and I gotta say this, Pac. Here's the one thing, because I know. Listen, you'll understand. I do not want people to throw their slabs and break their cards or try to break them.
yeah.
I do it to show my product works. A lot of the times, some of the like the older guys in the hobby are like, "You're disrespecting the card." No, these are my cards. I'm never gonna throw your card. I just want to show you my product works. I love this hobby, but I do get that a lot where people are like, "Oh, you know, you're gonna." I'm like, "Listen, I got to show you the product works, and I'm only throwing like a PSA 5 Otis Thorpe that's in my personal collection. So just
Yeah.
let me show you the product works." But I just want to get that out there because I always forget to say that, and people always like, "Oh, I get so many messages, bro. Just like,
It's gonna happen.
hey, you shouldn't throw slabs." I'm just like, come on, though, that's the point. But one of the coolest things that happened to me. So when I went to Atlanta, so this is after Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking through Atlanta, and I hear someone go, "That's the guy that throws slabs." And I hear from like three other people just murmuring as I'm walking by. That was one of the cool experiences to me, where I realized, okay, now not only is I just love doing it, now it's my marketing pitch. Literally, is my marketing pitch, and that's kind of when a light bulb went on too. That people will think of me at least at minimum. That's the guy that does something with slabs, right? That's the guy. That's the original. Even though I have competitors now, or I'm gonna have competitors, that's the original brand right there because I've seen him throw it and I know it works. And I can go back on YouTube and watch him throw it at Ryan Johnson on May 20th and the Dallas Card Show and all this stuff. And so now, yeah, it has turned into a marketing thing, but it's still to me genuine. I love doing it. It's not something that I'll ever stop doing, but I'll also never like what was it called, jump the shark with it. And
Yeah.
like I only do it when it's necessary and when I'm just having fun.
Yeah, man. I love it, Tim. I love everything about it, bro. I love everything about it. So relatable, bro. I learn from you daily, bro, as well as so many other people in the hobby. I love that I'm able to just watch you, even if we don't have to talk every single day. I could just watch what you're doing and how you do it, and say, okay, I know what Tim doing. That's what you got to do. You're not just me, but now I can go teach kids and show other people. Hey, if you want to be successful, this is part of what you have to add to your tool belt. I knew. I'll tell everybody who's listening and who took the time to tune in, when I knew Tim was it, long before, or I don't know, long before, but a
Here's my
ways
kind of
before
story.
Slab Strong, before he sent me the picture of the Slab Strong, he he would have these wild ideas, and this is at the time where it was even before we were creating a lot. We were creating
Wait, I'm gonna
content
go
and
get it
music.
too. I'm gonna go get my lucky card. Go ahead.
Yeah. We were creating content and music, and Tim would always tap in and be like, "Bro, I love that. I love that." And he would have these little ideas about just content that he would be doing, and I tell him, "Bro, that's genius, bro. That's genius." That, and I knew from there that he was gonna do something great, and I told him that, right? So
This is
he
it.
sent me a picture and video of him getting thrown out of a casino because he threw the card on the table. I've seen the video, people. This isn't he can't fake this. I've actually seen the
I still
video.
got it somewhere. I think it's. Oh, why did I freeze again? Well, anyways, keep going though.
Yeah. I seen the video. Tim walks into he's at the table, he puts a card down, and then, you know what? Security, excuse me, sir, we're walking you out of here.
That was
I
the
don't know if
movie.
he's allowed back in here, but like, I knew he had something special before that. But once he did that, I said, no matter what Tim tells me, any endeavor he has, I'm supporting the bro. Like, he gets it. He gets it.
Yo, listen, it's you can't. So you can't really see my face in the video because I'm doing it because I had to record. I was holding the camera, right? So I didn't even mean to do it. I literally always carry around an Otis Thorpe card in my wallet. It's like just it's a Otis. He went to Providence College. I'm a big Providence College fan, right? So I'm just walking, and I probably had a drink or two. We're in Vegas, right? We're walking through the Golden Nugget, and I see a roulette table, and I'm like, yo, what would they do if I just slid the card and bet a number with it? And I can tell you what they did. They didn't take the bet, and they didn't take it too kindly, but
They took you out.
yeah, it was so I don't know, but that was my fun. That was one of the ones to me that even I was like, "Yo, this is hilarious," because just like it's like calm down, like we're just having fun with cards though. But you were definitely
I thought
like
that was the coolest thing ever, bro. I
yeah,
ain't gonna lie
no,
to you. Still to this day, like in my excitement, I'm like, bro, you get it. That's that awe factor. You know what I mean? That it
yeah.
factor, and it made sense. That was just dope, bro. So, hey, bro, if you had to go back and talk to the 18-year-old Tim right now, or maybe an 18-year-old collector right now, and just in life and in general in business, what are some things that you would tell this person? You know what I mean? Because you have a lot of insight, bro, and I feel like, yo, if you had a 3-step process, it'd be the best, not the easiest, but the best 3-step process as far as how to get it done, man. What would your words be?
So I actually had a kid come up to me in he must have been about 12, 13, 14 at the National, and he said, "Hey, I like your your Instagram and I like your product." And he had gotten a free one at some VIP party in Chicago because I sponsored a couple of them.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I realized, you know, look, I had this idea when I was 38, man. Like I'm 39 now. It does time is what you make of it. Like what am I gonna now I have another full half of my life to be successful and to be what I want to be. And so I always tell people like you don't have so I had 4 ideas before this case, right? Not all of them worked. As you can see, I'm just doing the case. So number one, if your first business venture or your first idea doesn't necessarily pan out, just know that just having an idea or trying to start a business venture is already step one. Like you're already doing something.
Right.
Putting yourself out there. And this is the story I actually told. I actually talked to Chris Hoge about it. And
Coach. Shout out the
yeah,
ladder, man.
I've said this because I essentially discovered that from you. Like I had no idea what Call Louder was, and then you used to always post, and it would like the music would pop up and everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I learned about it. But I was talking to him about just damn, I lost my thought.
Hoj, Chris Hoj, and then we're talking about steps in business and the young man who came up to you at a show.
Yeah, just to be like, so just being just on the same wavelength of time. Time will be there, man. What okay, actually life is short, right? But you got to make of it what you can, and you can't let your past. I can't let all this stuff in my past. Yeah, I know it's a good story and it's all true, but I can't let it define my future in a way where I could have just been stayed alone, stayed miserable, never put myself out there, never asked my fiance to marry me, never do all this stuff, and I would actually be alone. It wasn't until I put myself out there that I realized how not alone I was. Right?
Right,
Like,
right.
and oh, I know where I was going with that. So this is the story I talked to Hoj about is for me, for someone like Rip, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be and he was nasty, right? He was really really good at football.
Yeah,
For him to put himself out there to do the music side of things, in my opinion, takes a lot, right?
yeah.
To create something new, it takes a lot simply to put yourself out there.
Facts.
So just, I mean, it's tough, right? You can do all that rah rah rah, just go for it. But just know, just because your first idea doesn't work out, doesn't mean you failed. Because if you could have never tried, you could have never tried. That's where the real failure happens, is you not trying. Because
You sound like Javid. You sound like Rip right now. It's the same word for word thing he would say about failures, man. Keep going.
yeah, exactly. So like, think about it, right? I think we have a great friendship pact, and
Of course.
but I wouldn't have made this friendship without putting myself out there. I wouldn't have this business without putting myself out there. I probably honestly would have got a call back at the restaurant and would have said, you know what, let me just take, even though I'm miserable and it's hard work, let me just take this money because at least, I can stop planning for the future. No, like I'm getting married this year and my fiance is on board. We're going to make this happen, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to do it in less than a year. And we're going to hopefully get out of this apartment that we're living in now, in the area that we're living in now. And that's the dream. So just, it sounds easy to say, don't give up, but it's literally, it's tough, man. Just like I said, putting yourself out there, number one, is the first step. If you can do that, you can literally do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just have confidence because you never know. You never know. I'm 39 years old, and hopefully, I'm going to put myself in a position to take care of my family and have generational wealth. Hopefully, right? But you never know.
Man, that's game. That's game right there. But yeah, putting yourself out there, man. I never start. I always tell people, this might be people first time listening, but you're gonna hear a lot of stuff over and over, man. I didn't start rapping until August 2020. Like I started rapping 2 months before I met you. You know what I mean? I'm 38 now. Uh, most people I know a lot of talented 38-year-old rappers, people who've been rapping their whole life, but a lot of people don't start rapping at almost 40. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
But look, though,
Slabby said,
mind frame,
you
right?
said what?
I'm sorry, just to interrupt you, but
Uh-huh.
that's a perfect analogy, right? Because even more so, like that's even more intense, right? I'm sure even your friends are like rapping at 40 is different than creating a product at 40. I'm sure you even got more like crap thrown at your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people laugh. Oh yeah, but we know the people laugh because I'm 40. Like I literally, it nothing bothered me. Like when people used to laugh, I'm like, I'm not in school no more. I work with children. So if you laughing at me because of an idea or a joke or you know what I'm saying? Like what's up with you? That's what I have to ask myself when I laugh at somebody at 38. Like it ain't their problem, it's my problem. You know what I'm saying? I got the real issue here. Let's just see what it was. So yeah, but look at us today. You know what I'm saying? It may have that nobody's laughing anymore. I'll tell you like that. And the people who are inspired by what we all do and others do in the hobby, I think it's amazing, bro. It's like LeBron James at 37 in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we really putting up 50 every night, you know what I'm saying, in our respective lanes. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing, Tim. And man, I'm gonna keep on watching you drop 50 every night, bro. You ever need anything from RPS, it's in the corner. Tim's been one person, man. It don't matter who you are. Sometimes I've been a fly on the wall, and Tim has sometimes a lot, not sometimes, a lot of times talked about RPS before he even talks about his own business. You know what I mean? And that right there, you can't. I mean, he's in business for himself, for the hobby, for others. But Tim is the same. In same breath with Tim knows when I'm in conversations, I'm dropping Tim name 99.9% of the time. They're gonna know. They're gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the relationship we have because it's built before we were invested in ourselves and in the hobby, but we were still in infancy. You know what I mean? So I think because we've literally grown up together in this new age hobby, I think it's just that special bond on that level. And I appreciate you for that, Tim. I want you to talk your stuff now, man, and give any shout outs you want to give. Let people know where they can find you, bro, and what's up next for Slab Strong.
Well, yeah, cool. So since my screen is frozen, no worries though. So if you want to see some like
do you want to log back off and on so people can get the visual on this? I know we were putting it in there a lot, but we really didn't give Slab Strong its just due like it should.
Yeah, I know. I just like see that's the thing though, Pac. I just like talking to you. I always forget like we're live right now, man.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so if you want to see some like so Pac-Man, like we go back to the whole card thing, like Pac-Man really inspired me to have like some funny ideas and just meme it out. So if you go to my Instagram, it's slab_strong. I'm also Slab Strong, but that's the business page. So if you want to come check out some funny videos, or like I said, Masvidal throwing my product or Steve Aoki throwing my product, it's slab_strong. You can buy my product at slabstrong.com. But as you just said, man, I got to talk about the people. So I've had so much support from everyone. So I'm just gonna say a list, and then I don't know, just so much appreciation. I don't want to forget everyone, but so Corey from Show Your Slabs, one of my biggest supporters, and I support him fully, and he's early too. I think I messaged him shortly after I messaged you when I went back to California. Him and I actually doing a podcast together that we're gonna have you on hopefully.
Of course.
And that's Dan from Stand Up Displays.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson, Chris Hoge. I'm gonna put them together. I don't care. I'm gonna say them back to back.
Got to respect and love for everybody, man. Value. You're naming a whole lot of human capital right now. We love it and we need it. Keep going, bro.
Yep. So I got my guy like Mike Gio at Sports Card Nonsense, the Ringer guys, Jesse. I got Carvin, one of the great. He created Exquisite Basketball. Like, can you imagine? Like, no, you know what I'm talking about, Carvin? Like, just knowing Carvin and his stuff. Obviously RPS and Terrell too, like me and everybody. Who else we got? Renee from Storage Wars, Marlon. We got everyone. GTS. You can buy my product through GTS now if you're an LCS shop. Yeah, bro. I mean, distributed by GTS. Bro, yeah, we did it though. And what's crazy is there's 4 regions. I at least sold in all 4 regions at minimum. So
I don't even know what that means, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna nod my head. I was thinking I should just nod my head and go, "Oh wow, that's amazing," but I don't even know what that means.
I was hoping
you said it like it's an accomplishment, bro. So congratulations.
I was actually hoping you would know what it means. But listen, bro, like, can you think about this? So, Ty from Bullpen LA, the Coffee Breakers, Dan Fleischman, Mo from Coffee Breakers love, like, they love my product. Like I actually worked with Dan Fleischman first, and then he introduced me to Mo. Like, no, you got to talk to Mo. Bro, so many people. My guy, Big Rains, Cali Big Rains. He's got his own Allen and Ginter card now. He's one of my guys, man. So many people, like Keegan, and Claire from Show Your Slabs.
Yeah.
And the whole family stand-up displays. Man, there's so many people named. You guys, obviously. Honestly, I'm amazed, and I'm trying not to double these names because I'm trying to show love to everyone. But there's honestly so many people in this industry that are at minimum supporting my movement.
I mean, it's safe to say it's hard for people like you, Wiz, Card Professor, like people who actually go to shows every every day, like not literally, but that's your life, it's your job, it's your passion, it's your hobby, right? Y'all are in contact with so many people, and so many people value you. Like it's literally probably it's impossible for y'all to even in an hour, 2 hours, sit back and just name everybody who supported and giving you love. It's the whole, and you said it, man. You have the whole hobby community, and you understand if they don't support you right now, you understand why, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Or if they don't see the value right now or at all, you like, that's cool. Maybe you're not supposed to. It might not be for you. And that's the beautiful, one of the beautiful things about you, Tim, that I love and appreciate yet again, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so many. I've had people. I won't necessarily names, but I just want to say a few more people. So
Yeah,
one
please.
of the early people, was Ryan Johnson as well, the card collector too in Dallas. So he was the first person to put me on YouTube throwing it at him. Um,
Mm.
and then the guys at the Dallas Card Investors, Derek and Bradley, all those guys, my guy Jason, um, like it's so crazy to have businesses and products that you respect all of a sudden turn around and go, no, like no, like we respect you, no, we want to work with you. And man, there's so many. I'm not going to say that one until it's 100% in. But yeah, no, there's a lot more coming. I got to tell this one quick story because I know we're long. But
Yeah,
after
no,
the
tell it. Man, my permission slip hasn't ran out yet, so we good.
all right, so this is one of the coolest things that happened to me. So I walk up to PSA, and if you were at the
Mhm,
National, you know PSA had a massive area.
mhm.
So because they're a business, right? And that at that time, so all PSA, all the employees are wearing masks. And I
Okay,
walk up to these two guys. They have masks on, so I don't know who they are, what they look like.
okay.
And I say to them, hey, did Terry Malia works at PSA? I go, was he able to make it to Chicago? And the guy says, no, but you're Tim, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're Slab Strong. And I go, yeah. He goes, I'm Steve Sloan. And Steve Sloan is the president of PSA. He's
Yeah, that
now the
name rings
president.
a bell.
Yeah, he's now the president of Collectors Universe. He just got a
Yeah.
promotion. And standing next to him is Brandon Wells, who is the product manager over there. And the fact that they knew who I was and the product, they ended up buying 300 from me, gave them away at the National. So,
How did that feel? How did that feel? Them know,
bro,
like in that moment when they say you Tim, like what were some of the feelings and reactions and emotions that went through your mind and body?
I had to take my RPS hat and hoodie off because you know how big my head got? That hat. Well, I was walking around like, hold on a second. I was
Do
like,
you know who I am?
yeah,
They know who I am.
hold on, Nat, give me a second. Um, but dude, so unbelievable because
Right.
literally my product. Now I have other brands of Slabstrong, but let's be real, right? Let's just be honest. PSA was the king. My product is made for PSA, and
For
obviously I
PSA.
respect all the other grading companies, even the new guys, TGA, TGT, HGA, all the new
Shout
guys. I
out
respect
everybody.
all your
Facts.
hustle, all your business, man. Expand the hobby. That's all that matters. But for PSA to acknowledge it, not only acknowledge it, but spend money with me is, I mean, that's what the dream was made for. Like, that's what literally my product is made for. And it's hard to express what it means. But all I know is at this point, I'm still building that business relationship with them and the personal relationships with them, just like I do with everyone else.
Right.
Because that's another thing, too, for advice. Yes, PSA is the king, but I'll tell you what, Steve Sloan was one of the most normal people I ever talked to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just was like, "Hey, I like your." It was awesome. So like, don't be intimidated. Like, you never know. You
You
never
never
know.
know.
You never know.
Man, that's game. That's game right there, Tim. Man, Tim, bruh. Man, we can go on for days and hours. We're definitely gonna run this
Yep.
back again. And the way it's gonna work when we run it back again, it's gonna be something that we put not a lot of time, but a little bit more time into. So it's gonna be something that you know what I'm saying, well, we're gonna combine and collab on and either educate, have fun, create in some shape, form, or fashion for the hobby community. That's going to be the follow up. We got when we bring people on the second, third, fourth, fifth time, it's going to be a little bit different each and every time. There's going to be a little bit growth. There's a reason why we do things the way we do things in everything. There's always, as you know what I'm saying. It's never just what it is. everything has layers to it, even though you may not see the next layer for a year or two. We do, hey, you got to let the seed grow, and we got to water that thing first. So Tim's always been somebody to trust us by our word, and somebody that we can share stuff with, and we know that it stays right there locked in with Tim. So bruh, for being a brother, you know what I'm saying? Just for real, man. We love you. We appreciate you, bruh. Thank you. Man, I know I got heck of other questions I want to ask you. I'm gonna get another permission slip line so we can get back on here again soon.
Yes,
When
sir.
when y'all start y'all show, you already know. Whenever y'all need us, man, tap in. We there. It's good. It's Gucci, bruh. It's good.
Yeah. Hey, could it not have froze on a better looking guy though? Look at that picture, man.
Man, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
Yeah, look at it.
That better be the thumbnail picture. See, I'm new to this. I still don't know how to do a lot of these pictures and stuff, but I'm gonna make sure that's the thumbnail picture or the cover picture on the video once I figure out how to get it done. That got to be
Yeah, I
it
got
right there. Yeah.
you. Yeah, we're all working, but that's the most beautiful thing, right? This is no longer work. We're gonna figure this how to do this stuff because we want to and we love it, and no one can tell us we can't.
Hey, they can't. They
Who can
can't.
tell you right now? No one can tell. Like, who's gonna tell you?
That's the beautiful part about it. Nobody can tell us we can't do anything, and that's another reason why I just love and respect you, bro. Because I, I I have people who I consider people that I care about in the hobby, like you, right? Um,
Good.
who support RPS, who have shown they have supported RPS and shown love and given us love, in many of the same ways you have, right? But when because there's hobby politics, when when they have to get certain things marked off their checklist before they can show the love now. Before previously they were just able to show the love, but then when they got people now letting them know whether they're allowed to show the love or not, it changes. You never change, bro. Like you've been consistent from the first time from my pack, the first song you heard to today. It's like it's never been a drop off or a fall off. And if there ever was, it would never be taken in any way other than Tim got something special going on for him and needed to focus on himself. And that's the way I want to take it with everybody moving forward. But individuals like you, and Jeff and so many others humble me, bro, and they teach me lessons. I'm able to learn with y'all through making mistakes and also building relationships with so many other people in the hobby in the same breath that I build relationship with students, staff, and families at the school. So thank you to the hobby. Thank you to the people for allowing us to learn, grow, make these mistakes, be accountable. And just be us, you know what I mean, and respect it for who we are and what we do. So, man, Tim, you, man, bro, man, what we got a lot of great things in mind. I remember when we were in National, it happened so organically too. We were at National, we had a camera crew. We didn't pay for it. There's a production company coming out to film us. They filmed a couple stuff, so people know what's going on. They know what's going on. We don't know what's gonna happen with that in the future. But man, the camera crew popped up at National. And as soon as we met him, the first thing I'm telling Slabby and I'm telling Trell is, man, I'm not going in here without Tim. Like they weren't asking for Tim, nothing, but just the type of person I am. I'm at National. I'm like, man, Tim got it out the mud with us. If there's a camera crew here, I gotta find Tim before anything. And as we're walking in, guess who the first person we see is?
Yeah, my guy, you know what's Tim. Funny about that too is because honestly, when you say something, I normally don't question it, right? But especially like that, if you watch the raw footage, you walk up to me and you're just like, Tim, walk with us. And without question, it's just like, all right, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, like, walk with us, boom, right? And then I actually talked to the dude. He cut his dreads off, bro. Remember the dude that walked up to you?
Wiz, that he was on last night. That's Wiz. Yeah, and he walked up on me. See, everything's organic and real here, baby.
He walked up to, he's like, yo, so I was actually talking to him at the Tampa show, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, damn, bro, I didn't recognize you, but I remember you with the dreads because he's always in Atlanta too with Prism God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, bro, like, what's your wax collection like? Yo, he really said though, his girl, remember he told you that too?
Yeah,
he told me too that his girl was like, yo, he got better wax than you. He was offended.
Yeah.
My guy though. Yo, that whole crew, man, real supportive too. And everybody, man, like, think about it, like how real like this hobby is, and it's crazy, man. That National thing though, what you're talking about, and if you remember, I asked Hose about it too, because I'm like, yo, did like you talk to Pac before that? Because we legit ran into him, and all of a sudden, like, your next bar was about Cod Ladder, and I'm like, Like, what is going on here? But
Improv, man. Tim seen it.
that was so fun, though.
Tim was a part of history before anybody ever booked RPS for a show. We gave National a live concert
Yeah.
through the aisles. You know what I'm saying? We gave National. Hopefully, people will get to see it on a larger scale one day in some shape. If not on that, we'll make it a larger scale. This is part of the reason why we're building this platform, because we got our own footage too. But Tim saw it without. We didn't have to do that performance for Tim to believe in us and know what we can do and what we were capable of, and the value and engagement and entertainment and experience that we can add to these to the hobby, man. Tim pushes me. I haven't given Tim credit in the same regard that Tim pushes, challenges me, and holds us accountable too, and make sure we at the top of our game. Tim don't settle for anything less. He wants the best for you. If he knows you, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing. He gonna tell you what it is. So,
Pac, there's a moment, if you look back in the thing too,
yeah.
you look at the footage when like you're walking towards the camera, I'm like, damn, he's all rapping in rhythm. I'm sitting there walking. I take my slab strong out and I start like beating on my chest with it, because I'm like, I don't know where the cameras are. Like, I've never been filmed, like, you know what I mean, on a film. So I'm like, yo, I can't look out of rhythm. I can't trip. I can't do nothing. It was so fun, man. Like, just, it was dope. And it was so fun because people were like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? Like, we were just walking down the aisle, bro. That was so dope.
For me, it was important because just like now, for me, it's important because we get to tell the story. For me, I wanted you there because I knew months from then and years from then, when we get to tell this story about how we know each other, that, hey, that's why Tim is in that video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell people, if you RPS, Tim is RPS, team RPS always, right? If you RPS, same way Tim advocates for us. If I'm in a room by myself, I'm dropping 400 names. It ain't just me. And if they don't like those names I drop, then they don't like RPS or Peter Pac-Man, because it's never just Peter Pac-Man. And I leave back doors open. If you let me through the front, I'm gonna leave the back door open. And that's literally when I was in college, in junior college, we used to sneak to the gym, and we used to leave the door open after practice and after workouts and come back at midnight, from midnight to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., putting out thousands of shots every day. You know what I'm saying? I used to let anybody in who used to come in and want to get their work in. And Tim always leaves the door open for us. You know what I'm saying, bruh.
I gotta tell you one quick more story because it's my highlight.
Keep going.
We'll keep it on 2 hours. So the first time we actually met in person, this is a real story, and
Dallas,
I think you know this because I walked up to you and told you right away, bro. I was like, I knew you were going, and I knew I wanted to meet you in person. We talked about meeting up. We've always talked for a while now. We've been friends for a while. But when we met in person, I'm literally walking around the Dallas card show because I'm like, I know what you look like, right? But there's so many people there, right? So I'm just like, I had my phone playing the grade, what's the graded one? Grades, just grades. I'm literally walking around the Dallas card show with my phone playing grades, hoping that you would hear it and go, oh, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm walking out the big room and I'm still playing it. And I look to my left on the side room where like the comic books were.
Yeah.
And I see you, and I'm like, that's that Pac right there. Remember, I showed you my phone where I'm like, look, bro, I'm on YouTube right now playing your song. Like,
yep. No cap. Yep.
Literally, like, not. I don't want to make it like it was like a sign, but like it literally happened that quick where I'm like, hold on a second, I'm gonna try to find Pac-Man by playing his song, and not 5 minutes later, I run into you. So I just thought that was one of the coolest things that had happened the first time we met. Then we finally got pictures, and bro, this has been so fun, and I can't wait to look back on even this podcast a year from now, 6 months from, honestly, probably a month from now.
Probably a month from now, bro. Yeah, the way things move, bro. Probably a month, 2 months, bro. It's like, but I'll tell you this right now. Even if the hobby were to end today, bro, thank you. I had a blast. You made it better than you can ever imagine, with or without the Slab Strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, RPS wouldn't be the same RPS if not for you, bro. So thank you. You know, I look forward to our future, but what we were able to learn and do and experience together and watch each other, how we, because like they say, certain stuff we can't say online because you know my brain, you know what I'm saying? It's like me, I know you. We've had conversations, you know what I mean? So That
Yeah.
can't be replaced, bro. That's gonna be on. That's gonna go on. If the hobby got banned from the world, you know what I'm saying? We're still gonna be tight no matter what, and we're gonna find something else to add value
Yeah.
to. And that's
Yeah.
why I rock with you, because I see that in you and I feel that in you. And Slab Strong isn't the only thing that's gonna add value in the hobby or outside the hobby. This man Tim is a walking bucket, y'all. Like he's 50 every night. So don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Don't see. And the other thing too is, I know you're the same way. I've seen it in person. Like, come talk to us at shows, man. I'll have as long conversation or short as conversation you want, but come introduce you at a show. Throw some slabs with me. We'll have a lot of fun. I was just in Tampa. I played cornhole with backyard breaks with my slabs. I was like, no, we'll play with these, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about those beanbags, bro. Like,
Genius.
come talk to us. Have fun. I hope I can speak for both of us when I say that we're extremely approachable. Like,
Yes.
extremely approachable. Even too much. Honestly, you talk to me, I might follow you around the rest of the show. Like, just yeah, man. Just come talk to us. We'll have a lot of fun. Keep watching where we progress, and just know that we're doing it for the love of the hobby, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Tim, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Today's Sunday, right? I know I got work tomorrow, so it got to be Sunday. I'm back at it. I know there's football on right now, right? People could have been watching football right now, but they chose to be here with us. So thank y'all for taking the time to be here with us. Now you could go take the time to enjoy your Sunday. Tell somebody that you love them. Make somebody feel special and valued. You're loved. Love yourself. If nobody's there to tell you that they love you, I ain't gonna lie and say I love you like I love my own, because I may not know you like my own, right? But you are loved. Love yourself like your own first, and then other people will be able to love you if you're not feeling that love. But you are special. You are valuable. You are somebody. If you can think, you can create. If you can create, you can innovate. If you can innovate, you can change lives, and you could man, if you can smile, you can make somebody else smile. And that's the most important thing. So,
Yeah.
Tim, thank you for making me smile. We got the freeze frame picture of Tim smiling with the blue eyes. Now he about to start getting some movie deals. You know what I'm saying? I want 10% of every movie contract because of this.
You're in. You're in. On. Here we go. This is my favorite. Hold on. This is my favorite thing. We gotta go out on something because you said it
Let's
earlier.
do it.
Hard on the concrete that
Yeah, we
makes
made it
up
off these rough streets.
sets up, that means that they complete. You wanna know how much? Rip check the complete. Give them some options. Be like Compsy. We pack so many boxes. We like home. Load bags with tops.
Come shoot.
On behalf of the hobby, we the prosecutors. We appeal the case. Judge gave us a new. No objection.
Oh, here we go. Here comes my shout out.
Said you didn't get it hit. That's a Slab Strong protect the cars like a phone. Wax long.
Yo, this shit. Hey, I'm walking down to the aisle. Wait, do I walk down the aisle? Babe, you're walking down to the aisle to this song. No, but hey, Pac-Man, really love you guys. Tell everybody, Slabby, my guy Rip. Yo, listen, man. My whole dream is to look at Rip and go, how come you never come visit me, man? I'm so excited to see you guys in Vegas, man.
Vegas, it's gonna happen. People don't know how rare it is, even for us to be together. Like literally, we've probably been together every time I got to answer, maybe 10 times since we started Hop creating. Slab, Rip, and Pack have probably been together 10 times, 12 max. And we're like, you know what I'm saying? So just 2022, we're gonna be real intentional about being together more. So we're gonna give more. So you will see the three of us in Vegas. We're just looking forward to having a blast, man. That's it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I really appreciate you. You ever need anything, you let me know.
I already know.
I got that with you too. So
yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Y'all go enjoy y'all Sundays. Happy New Year, and we'll tap back in, man. That's Slab Strong Tim off the checklist. Peace.
thank you.
Yes, sir.